CNN is now learning FBI special agents across the country are actively looking for possible domestic terror threats related to Trump's upcoming court appearance in Florida. Sources say some pro-Trump groups are already making plans to travel to Miami and support the former president as he faces these federal charges in the classified documents case. CNN's Josh Campbell is joining us right now. Josh, I know you've been talking to your sources in the FBI and elsewhere. What more are you hearing?
Well, Wolf, this is so important because we know that Donald Trump's election lies inspired that deadly January 6th insurrection at the Capitol, and U.S. federal law enforcement is working to make sure that that doesn't happen again. I spoke to 5 law enforcement sources across the country today who said that FBI domestic terrorism agents and analysts are actively working to identify any potential threats surrounding that upcoming court appearance. They're looking at online platforms that are popular with extremist groups. This is important. They are also querying and tasking confidential human informants who report on these domestic terrorism groups. Now, as secretive and closed off as these groups think they are infiltrated by informants of the FBI. That has often led to consternation among these extremist groups, as well as infighting and paranoia. By the way, I'm told the FBI doesn't mind that one bit. At this point, there's no indication of any credible and specific threat, but FBI agents and intelligence analysts are certainly looking for those potential threats. One source told me that they don't want to see the same violence on January 6th happen this coming Tuesday, Wolf.
Yeah, no one does. And Josh, I understand we are learning new details about the U.S. Secret Service and their planned posture next week.
That's right, Wolf. The U.S. Secret Service issued a statement a short time ago saying that they won't be asking for any special precautions to be taken surrounded by Trump's visit to that courthouse on Tuesday. But, this is so important. Their mission is to protect Donald Trump. And we know that these extremist groups, they're not going to target the former president. They're adherents of his message. But the question comes down to, what about everyone else? What about the people who work in that courthouse? What about members of the prosecutorial team who we know have, faced threats? And so that's why this work by federal law enforcement is so important across the country, trying to determine, are there potential threats, looking online, talking to sources, anyone who might have information. Federal law enforcement will certainly respect First Amendment protected activity at the courthouse if people want to come and protest and support Donald Trump, but something they certainly won't abide is any violence. So we're told they're working to try to dismantle any types of groups who might be planning that, Wolf.
Yeah, the last thing we need right now is another January 6th type insurrection over in Miami. All right, Aaron, over to you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, the federal indictment of Donald Trump quotes several instances where he spoke in the past about severe punishments for anyone who mishandled classified documents. They literally go through and they show them. Here are some.
One of the first things we must do is to enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information. We also need the best protection of classified information. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law.
I mean, it's actually incredible, right? I mean, it's actually incredible. Andrew Kaczynski joins me, senior editor of CNN's K-File. Andrew, you have gone through these. You had found all of these instances. And this is something where Trump has a very long history of saying that somebody should be punished if they mishandle classified documents. A long history and a consistent history.
Yeah, it seems almost inconvenient for him now to have run an entire campaign in 2016 saying that he was going to lock up Hillary Clinton for mishandling classified information. In that debate, he said that she would be in jail under his administration, and his campaign even sold merchandise that was Hillary Clinton in prison themed in 2016. Now, this is a remark, lock her up, that he hammered home time and time again, saying that mishandling of classified information, she should be in jail. Take a listen to just a few of these instances that we found.
Hillary's private email scandal, which put our classified information in the reach of our enemies, disqualifies her from the presidency. She did so knowing full well it would put American lives at risk by making classified information highly vulnerable to foreign hacking. I mean, she should be going to jail. I don't know what the hell's going on. No, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it's amazing, right? The classified information within the reach of our enemies disqualifies her from the presidency. I mean, there it is. And your investigation found that it wasn't just Hillary Clinton, that there were others that Trump suggested should be prosecuted for mishandling classified information.
Right. It's not just Clinton. Everyone obviously remembers Clinton because that was such a big theme of that campaign. But in 2017, when he fires James Comey, he says that Comey was leaking classified information to the press. He did an interview with Time magazine around that time where he says, classified information, you go to jail when you release stuff like that. And take a look at this tweet where he talks about Comey. He says he leaked classified information for which he should be prosecuted. Now, let's fast forward a few years to 2020. During that election, John Bolton was his national security director. He leaves the administration under bad terms. He writes sort of a tell-all book, and Trump is very angry about this. He says in interviews that he releases classified information, again, says he should go to jail for many years. And then in this tweet, he says he must pay a very, very high price for this, talking about Bolton's book, saying that he released classified information in it.
I mean, it is incredible, right? A thing he went to again and again. All right, Andrew, thank you very much for all that digging and sharing it with us.